With a new year comes new opportunities, and the Washington Association of Black Journalists has one that may be just right for a student in your life. The association is now accepting applications for their Urban Journalism Workshop, which guides high school students interested in pursuing a career in journalism, while also gaining real-world experience. And joining me now in studio is president of WABJ and co-coordinator of the Urban Journalism Workshop, Phil Lewis. Phil, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Love to be here.
All right, so tell us a little bit more about the Urban Journalism Workshop. It sounds like an amazing opportunity, so tell me a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so the Urban Journalism Workshop is an awesome opportunity. Like when I was a kid, my mom and dad would throw me into all sorts of programs, like engineering programs, like I hated engineering and math and all that. They would just throw me into programs. And the Urban Journalism Workshop, it gives students the opportunity to be around actual journalists, working journalists who are in the White House, who are in Congress, who are doing all these things. And they help them and they mold them into becoming future journalists. So it's eight Saturdays, and it's at an American university, and we work with the students. It's volunteer, and it's a great program.
Absolutely. So the high school students are able to work on different projects and things like that. What are some of the things that they're going to be actually learning and the projects that they're going to be working on? Yeah,
so because these are 9th graders, 10th graders, 11th graders, we work with them basically from the start. So we teach them how to write a lead. We teach them how to do what you're doing, right? Over the last 2 years, we've been able to take them to the White House. We take them on field trips. They're able to go different places. We take them to DC News Now also. So they learn all sorts of things, the inverted pyramid, basically everything that you might learn in your journalism 101 class.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about the application process. How many students are you all accepting, and what will that process look like for them?
Well, we're accepting as many students as wants to apply. So last year we had about 17 students. We want to hit maybe 15. The application is due January 8th, but we are more than willing to extend the application for anyone that wants to apply, because I know the holidays can be kind of busy. It's whoever wants to apply can apply. I think a common misconception of the program is that it's only for Black students, or it's only for certain types of students, but it's for everyone who is in the DC area and that wants to apply.
Now, as you know, our industry is changing all the time. There are a lot of people being let go and things like that. So why do you think it's so important to get those students interested in journalism?
Yeah, well, what's important for students right now is that, unfortunately, it seems like reading and writing are things that are sort of falling by the wayside for a lot of students. There's an article in The Atlantic that talks about the elite college students that can't read. So even if students aren't interested in pursuing journalism, we teach them how to write. We teach them, what they should be looking for when they want to read and go off to college. We teach them skills that they're going to need in the future regardless. Mm-hmm. So it's a good program for students to learn and meet people and network and do all these things before they even go to college.
Absolutely. And one of the things that is not just good for high school students, but also for mentors, people that are teaching these young journalists to do what they're doing. So what are some of the opportunities for mentors if they're interested? What can they do to apply as well?
Yeah, well, the mentors, so we will be sending out a form for any mentors, anybody who has experience in journalism, to be involved. They can come one Saturday, they can come every Saturday, but they learn so much from each other. Like there's mentors who are like, oh, I didn't even know what a TikTok was until we talked to the students. So they're learning from the mentors. The mentors are learning from the students. So it's a equitable exchange there.
What is the importance of diversity in the newsroom? Because, a lot of the times you don't see a lot of people of color in newsrooms. So tell me a little bit about what you think is important about that.
Yeah, so diversity is important in the newsroom, in particular right now, just because it's really challenging to get our stories kind of in front of audiences that look like us. And so when you have newsrooms that are predominantly white or predominantly from, Columbia University or high Ivy League universities, maybe people don't feel represented, and so stories can kind of fall by the wayside. And so when you have programs like this that help promote students that come from different backgrounds and find stories that are from all sorts of different aspects of life that I think that only adds to the journalistic experience that we have in this country. And that's what we try to do. We just want to explore and make sure that students are able to get their stories out there.
And then lastly, where can students apply again?
Yeah, so they can go to our website, just wabj.org. Our website, if you can Google it as well, Urban Journalism Workshop, ujw.org as well, I believe. So we are everywhere.
And lastly, I do want to ask you also about people that want to join WABJ. How do they join as well?
Yes, so that is also on our website, WABJ. You can join. We are open to whomever wants to join, and I'm trying to make her join too. So, yeah.
Okay, all right, Phil, thanks so much.
Thank you.
I'm glad to have you here. All right, for more information on the Urban Journalism Workshop or the Washington Association of Black Journalists, visit, again, wabjdc.org. And Simon Buggs is here with our Thursday Sports page. Don't move.
What's going on, sports fans? I'm back and I have some great football news in store for today's sports page. Now, it's been a great last couple of days for us Commanders fans. This past Sunday, the team locked in a playoff spot for the first time since 2020 with a 30-24 overtime win against the Atlanta Falcons. And earlier today, it was announced some players from our team are Pro Bowl bound. The first is rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels. If you watch any Commanders games this season, this shouldn't be a surprise to you. The former LSU star and Heisman Trophy winner has been lighting up for the Burgundy and Gold in 2024. Through 17 weeks, Daniels has thrown for 3,530 yards to go along with 25 touchdowns and just 9 picks, while completing 69% of his passes. The dual threat QB also leads all signal callers in rushing yards with 864. He's also top 10 in the NFL in passer rating and completions. The California native is the first Commanders rookie to make the Pro Bowl since Chase Young back in 2020. Another player that made the Pro Bowl and helped JD5 have the season he's had is wide receiver Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry has recorded 74 receptions for 1,034 yards and 12 touchdowns. And those 12 touchdowns are tied for second in the NFL and are first in the NFC. The 29-year-old is also one of just 5 players in the league with 70-plus catches and 10-plus touchdown receptions. This is the Ohio State product's second Pro Bowl selection. Meanwhile, over in Charm City, 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson will be making his 4th Pro Bowl appearance. Action Jackson is having the best season of his career, leading the league in passer rating with 121.6, which is also the second highest in NFL history. The Louisville product also has the second most passing yards this season with 3,955 and the second most touchdowns with 39 in the AFC. He's also made plays with his legs also, compiling 852 yards, which is good for second best in the league. This is the second year in a row Jackson has made the Pro Bowl. Now, Jackson will be the only player representing the Ravens in Orlando this year, as wide receiver Zay Flowers, running back Derrick Henry, linebacker Roquan Smith, fullback Patrick Ricard, and safety Kyle Hamilton all made the Pro Bowl as well. Congratulations to all the players for making it. You guys definitely deserve it. In other news, the UMD basketball squad has made big changes going into next season, as they have hired their first general manager in program history in former Terp wide receiver G. Roy Simon. Simon played in College Park from 1993 to 96 and finished second in school history in receptions with 185 and 6th in receiving yards with 2,059. He also went on to play in the Canadian Football League for 15 years, mainly with the BC Lions. And sticking with Terp sports news, the men's basketball team will be on the West Coast tonight, taking on Washington. Tip-off is at 9:30, and the women's basketball team will be returning to action tonight as well. The Lady Terps will match up against Rutgers at the Xfinity Center at 7 o'clock.
Okay, so clearly the Commanders really showed a lot of great work this season.
Absolutely.
So how special was this season for you as a Commanders fan?
Extremely special, Michaela. Coming into this season, I didn't have high expectations for the team because we were going into a rebuild. You know, I had us winning. I would have been fine with maybe seven wins, but this team has blown that estimation out of the water.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have 11 wins. They have completely surpassed my expectations. We're in the playoff run for the playoffs for the first time in 4 years. It's been an absolutely magical season. Definitely one of the more memorable ones I've had as a Commanders fan. And I can't wait to see what we do come playoff time. I'm really excited. Really
Absolutely.
excited.
All right, Simon, thanks so much.
Of course.
And let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast tonight. We'll be mostly clear out. Tomorrow, snow showers are likely. We're looking at a high of 43 and a low of 25. Saturday will be mostly sunny. It's going to be 32 degrees. Sunday will be mostly sunny with a high of 36, but we have an 80% chance of snow, so be prepared. And lastly, for our community calendar, the circus is in town. Even if you love clowns in 2024, the Do Portugal Circus will take you on a journey of laughter and pure amazement as artists perform death-defying acts. The circus will have several shows at Capitol Plaza in Landover Hills. Tomorrow's show starts at 7:30, but for more information or tickets, visit doportugalcircus.com. And that's all the time we have for CTV News. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Good night, everybody.